Hello, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to do another Dreamcast pickups video. For starters, we have Marionette Handler. So as you can see, this is by Micronet, and this had me slightly confused at first because there is another Japanese Dreamcast series of games called Marionette Company. But this is Marionette Handler. Marionette Company was Microcabin, I believe, and this has no relation to that. As you can see from this opening animation, it appears to be a like a miniature robot programming simulator. Get set, they are waiting for you. So here we are at the Marks system, and this is the Marks navigator. She says, it's nice to meet you. And so obviously this is a simulation of a like a kind of a desktop environment, and here we have a shop that we can go to, sort of like an internet shop, and we can purchase these kits for these robots, and then we can program them. So this is actually a program. It's like a visual representation. You can link together these various actions to form a like a behavior pattern. So here we are letting that pattern play out, and essentially we're just searching for the enemy as we move forward, searching to the front, to the sides, to the back. And this is the default pattern, and it's actually not going to detect the enemy. It is just going to walk straight into the wall. So that is not extremely effective. But this is kind of an interesting game. I do have a little bit of a soft spot for, you know, a game that is a real simulation. So this is definitely a simulation game. Could be kind of fun. I don't know. Next up is Never 7. Here's another game by Kid, Kindle Imagine Develop, and this is in the Infinity series. I believe it's the first one that includes Remember 11 and Ever 17, which is one of those ones that I've been meaning to play. It's, as far as I know, very well regarded in the West. So we start off with this kind of creepy music, disturbing, kind of morbid dream sequence here. And our character wakes up from the dream. We have to start these things off right. And suddenly the door flies open and this girl appears. He's like, you know, and I can see before me, I can see, it's like, who is this again? So you have this kind of memory loss too, or this, some sort of weird situation. You know, he doesn't even know who this person is. He seems to be sleeping in the same house with. So, you know, I think these are some common themes in these games. Having these foreshadowing dreams and memory loss as kind of a way to establish like some mystery, I guess. So, you know, it's, I guess, interesting to see how these elements are used across these kind of games. But it looks like she had a bad dream too, so she was coming in to check on you. And, you know, not a lot has happened so far, but curious to see where this game goes. It could be interesting. The next one is Te no Hira wo Taiyou ni. So here's another one by Princess Soft, and I have to say I've been fairly impressed with the consistent quality of Princess Soft stuff so far. Again, I'm not really sure if they're a developer and a publisher, or strictly a publisher, or what. But this is a pretty interesting seeming game. One complaint that I have right off is the font. I kind of get what they were going for. It's like a little bit sketchy, but it's a bit hard to read. But take a listen to the music here. I just think that it's very nice, and it seems consistently quite good throughout the game so far. In addition to that, the art style I think is very nice. And even the writing so far I've rather enjoyed. The main character, you know, his voice I think is just interesting, and kind of the whole monologue in the beginning is just like, you know, every day is the same. I do the same things. I get up, I go to school. You know, he seems sort of depressed and introspective, and it seems like he lost his parents. So he seems to be having kind of a hard time, and here he, you know, it seems like he cuts class and goes to the roof, and this girl is crying. She actually comes up later. And you know, a little bit later on, this other girl actually shows up, and she's crying too. And here you can hear some voices. The two girls both called him a liar. So this is a dream sequence, but it's not at the beginning. And you do wake up, but you aren't woken up by a girl. So I think this mixes up this formula a little bit. And this conversation here between this boy and these girls is, you know, surrounding being friends, kind of being friends, you know, forever, and sticking by each other and helping each other out when they're in need. And there was some weird stuff too about death earlier on. But it turns out that I think those two girls that went up to the roof were these girls that he was friends with. And I don't quite know if the implication is that, you know, he had forgotten who they were until he had that dream. But at any rate, you know, the opening animation here and everything, this seems pretty high quality. Looks like it could be a pretty interesting game. The next one is Konohana True Report. Here's one that I noticed back in the day. This is from 2001, and I don't know why this stood out to me, but I think it's because it looked obviously like like kind of a crime, murder, mystery sort of thing. And this starts right off. They're like, you know, he's dead. It's a dead body. So this is really classic sort of murder mystery beginning here. They're getting right to it. And you know, this girl was like, you know, oh, I knew it. And you find this this note. There's a 0 on it, you know, or an O. And she's like, it's the god of death. It's the Shinigami, or like the, you know, the Reaper. So here we have another kind of, you know, opening sequence, sort of opening theme and animation here. And I don't know, you know, if you're into like a mystery game, this looks like it could be interesting. I should say not a whole lot has happened in the intro other than they found a dead body. So, you know, it kind of gets it going right from the start, and it gets you interested in, you know, how they're going to solve this case, and, you know, why these high school students are involved in this. So it looks kind of cool. And the last one is kind of a mouthful, so I'm just going to have to look at it here. So this one is Fushigi no Dungeon, Fuurai Shiren Densetsu, Jokenji Asuka Kenzen, I believe. So I actually lied, there is another game coming up after this, but at any rate, so, you know, this 3D CG is maybe not like my favorite style, but it's really nice looking. And really, you know, visually and overall, I think every aspect of this game, there's really nothing to complain about. It seems to be top-notch, kind of high quality in all respects. And this is a game in the Fushigi no Dungeon, like Shiren the Wanderer series. It is a side story, and it has a different main character. It's got this swordswoman Asuka. And this seems to be a Sega published game, which makes me especially sad that this never you know, came to the US as a Dreamcast release, because I think the Dreamcast did get lucky and had, you know, some decent RPGs on it, but you know, definitely, you know, especially I think RPG fans would always like to have another good game, and this looks pretty decent. Very interesting art style here too. The sprites seem to be pre-rendered 3D. which lends it a unique look. I haven't seen this used a whole lot. Perhaps I just needed to play some more RPGs of this this era. But here we have some kind of light coming down the river. It's like, well, what in the world is this? It's like it's poison. So it seems like somebody's poisoning the water supply. And they've been having some trouble with ninjas, so being the upstanding swordswoman that you are, you offer to take care of this ninja menace. And we're going here through what I assume is a procedurally generated dungeon. You know, collecting items, fighting enemies, leveling up. It's an action RPG. So, you know, I think this looks like a pretty cool game, and I think it's a great RPG addition to the Dreamcast, available only in Japan. And I have to show this off, because this may be the most ridiculous thing I own, and that's saying a lot. This is the Cardcaptor Sakura. This is the limited edition of the game for the Dreamcast. Now, this box, as you can tell, is huge. It's basically the size of like a video game console. Like, this is the Saturn box is about this size. So for starters, we have the game here.
Cardcaptor Sakura, Tomoyo no video Daisakusen,
which is like Tomoyo's Operation Video. So, and I do apologize, I mispronounced Tomoyo's name several times later in this video. Apologize in advance. But this is a photography game, and I do kind of like photography-based games, especially, you know, things like Pokemon Snap, or really just games with photography elements in it. I think it's pretty fun. Even saying that, though, I would say this isn't really the most exciting photography game. Just the way that it is, I mean, it's not that different being on rails. I mean, Pokemon Snap is on rails, but it's just Keto saying, hey, take a picture of Fly from the front, you know, and so you do that, and that's it. But, you know, the sequences play out like Sakura capturing the cards in the show, and we have this Dreamcast kind of 3D CG here, and, you know, I do find it kind of charming. It's easy to forget that this was the second generation of 3D consoles. It was really popularized with the you know, PlayStation and that era. So at this point, the 3D was getting a bit better, and I think it has kind of a fun look. One thing I think this game does struggle with is you know, capturing, especially Tomoyo. Like, her character doesn't quite have her character to it. But here, you know, Keto sort of appraises your photos at the end, and that's about it. From what I can tell, this game does have some extras, and it almost seems like a game that is really more about the extras than it is about the main game. I guess there's like a puzzle game or something, maybe, as part of the extras that might, you know, give you a little more longevity. The main game's supposed to be pretty short, and it's kind of hard to tell who this was really aimed towards. It's like, it seems like it was kind of towards kids, but then there's this limited edition, and I'm like, you know, is this aimed towards kids too, or is it more like otakus, or is it kind of a mix? I don't know. It doesn't seem like the greatest game in the world, but it's kind of fun. We have just a little bit of paper here. I think it just explains. Okay, so I'm actually more embarrassed now that I've read the card for actually what is in here. So this has the Sakura-chan and Tomoya-chan Oyasumi Dakimakura cover. So it's like it's a hug pillow cover. And then it's got a hotcake set and an original panel wall clock. So let's take a look at these things. So this is the Dakimakura cover here. To go with as part of the hotcake set, I guess we have a spoon and a fork. I'd figure for like pancakes you'd actually want a knife, but whatever. And you can see that has Sakura and Tomoya there. Okay, so this is a stand right here. It says a sticker on it that says it's made in China. Oh, this is the clock. It's got a battery on the back, and there it is. This looks like the cover artwork, so it's very nice. And lastly, we have a plate to go with the spoon and the fork. There it is. Very cute. I assume that that's what goes on the stand there. So that is my set of Cardcaptor Sakura, and I want to show you one more thing. So here's the game case, and I was just impressed with the care that was taken with this. I don't know, it's for some reason I was more impressed with this than I should have been. So you see the hole is right where Tomoyo's eye would be. There's another picture of her behind it here, and you can see her looking through it. Her eye actually lines up so that it's sort of in the right spot. I just thought that was worth mentioning. So those were my Dreamcast pickups. I hope that you enjoyed them, and I hope you'll join me again next time for some more cool videos. Thanks for watching.